Welcome back, you guys. In today's News Daily video, I'm going to break down the two big stories this afternoon. First, we're going to discuss Callum Hudson-Odoi and his future at this club, as well as the latest injury news surrounding the player. And to end things, I'm going to speak about Gimenez from Atletico Madrid and new links and reports coming out. So you guys, we've got a ton of things to break down and discuss today. I hope you all enjoy. Now, before I continue on, I want to say a massive shout out to eToro for sponsoring Blue Lines TV. For you guys that don't know, eToro is a global investment platform who sponsor many teams in the Premier League. Now recently, eToro put out a survey to get a better understanding in regards to how fans are enjoying games during lockdown. And the survey results were quite surprising. 75% of football fans did reveal that they're not enjoying games as much watching it from home. And on top of this, 73% came out to state that they can't even enjoy the games as much due to daily life distractions from kids, from pets, from the wife, from the girlfriend, from your partners. You know, that real life stuff that at times can just affect your enjoyment from the game that's live. Now, if you've always shown an interest in wanting to trade, but you've always felt like you don't have the time to invest into this is where eToro's CopyTrader tool comes in and helps you out. You copy the top performing investors, basically meaning that when they invest, you automatically place those same investments at no added cost. So my friends, you've got the time to make this happen for you. eToro makes it manageable and quick. So if you're curious to delve into this investing life, I've got a link in the description for you. eToro is the platform for you. You'll find a link below in the description. But now we start with the first story for today, and I'm going to discuss Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now, these reports came out earlier from The Athletic, as well as an update from Frank Lampard's press conference earlier this afternoon. So I'm going to start with The Athletic article first, and in it, it states that the club, they are not looking to sell Hudson-Odoi at any cost. Now, some rumours have been floating around over these past few weeks, suggesting that Callum's lack of Premier League game time and minutes may be one of the main reasons to persuade him to leave the club and find a new club to play for. The article did state that Hudson-Odoi does have ambitions to represent England in this summer's Euros, which is natural and understandable for a player like him. But if he isn't getting those Premier League minutes, it's going to be very hard for him to get a place in this England team. Now, The Athletic reported today that the club are not looking to sell Hudson-Odoi at any cost, and there's two reasons for this. I mean, number one, he's got world-class potential, huge, massive potential, which a club obviously, they want to profit from in the future. And for the second reason too, seeing all the recent injury issues with the team, the last thing we need for a potential title challenge is to lose another attacking winger in this team. So a ton of sense and a ton of reasons as to why we are keeping Hudson-Odoi. However, let's fast forward to the press conference that came out this afternoon, and Lampard gave some very disappointing news, and that's the fact that Hudson-Odoi has picked up a hamstring injury. That is so frustrating, so annoying. I mean, the fact we've lost Hakim Ziyech to this hamstring is already bad enough, but this was really an opportunity for Hudson-Odoi to potentially get more Premier League minutes, to show Lampard all the things that he's been working on and improving on over these, past few months as well. And I guess the reality is that when you suffer a serious ACL injury like Hudson-Odoi did, it does mean that your body is going to become more susceptible to picking up minor knocks in the future. So let's hope that maybe Hudson-Odoi isn't heading in that same direction as Christian Pulisic. We've got two ridiculously talented wingers, but the fact that they're so injury prone isn't really helping any of us right now. It seems to be another injury that Callum has picked up during a training session. Maybe his body still isn't ready for the high demands that Lampard expects to have from the team, especially in the training sessions. But that's me just hypothesizing and trying to theorize as to why this issue keeps on happening. But to give my thoughts and opinions on the story, yeah, I think with Callum, it's a small minor setback, but again, he keeps losing that momentum that could one day potentially get him back into the first team. So I guess it's going to be another case of being more patient and understanding what's happening with Callum. And to be honest, after this injury news came out this afternoon, it kind of gave clarity to this entire situation. Hudson-Odoi right now, he's getting minutes in the cup games, European games, FA Cup games, Carabao Cup games, etc, etc. And on the basis of the squad depth that we have in these attacking positions, I'd say that this is fair. I think it's quite safe to assume and say that Hudson-Odoi's development is 1 year behind his teammates, and this is due to the fact that he picked up that ACL injury. And I'm going to keep reiterating that and stressing that because I do feel it as fans sometimes, we don't necessarily understand and appreciate how complex and difficult injuries like this can be. At times we can take our frustration out on the players and kind of scapegoat them a bit for a situation that is kind of out of their hands, and for me, this is going to be a similar situation with Hudson-Odoi. I think taking Hudson-Odoi out from this pressure cooker is the best thing to do because last season in particular, it felt like Hudson-Odoi was feeling the pressure from the fan base. He was getting affected by that confidence-wise, and articles were coming out suggesting that Callum was signing towards senior pros at the club to try and come through this difficult spell. So I think when it comes to man management, Lampard's making the best decision because you want Callum to shine in these less pressurized games where he can build his confidence, get back to doing the things that Lampard wants to see, as well as showing improvements in the other sides of his game. And that recent game against Sevilla where Callum's defensive work rate was the best I've ever seen was phenomenal, and on top of that, his movement off the ball, his movement to create space for his teammates, his movement to get in behind, to get inside the box as well. We're seeing him improve his game, we're seeing him add to his game, and we're seeing him slowly get back to his dribbling best. So the fact that he picked up a hamstring at this period in time is literally the worst luck you can imagine for, because this could have been a pivotal moment for Hudson-Odoi. But anyway, you guys, in the comments below, give me your thoughts and opinions on this situation. Do you still believe in Starboy? Do you think that he's still going to have a big season? Let us all know below. And now we move on to the final story for today, and this is more of a rumor. Now, I don't typically address these types of stories, but I think this time, based on the fact that there was some historical evidence on this type of thing happening before and working in our favor, I felt like it was okay to discuss these Gimenez rumors. Now, you might be wondering, Nini, what is the latest on Gimenez for Atletico Madrid? And that latest news came out last night. Now, one thing that's sick about our fan base is that, on social media, even though we do have our negatives, we still have our positives as well. And, credit goes to CFC Daily, a top Chelsea account. I follow him, very good guy. And again, Eagle Eyes finds something very interesting, and he notices that Gimenez actually liked a post suggesting him with a move to the club. Now, of course, if this was in different circumstances, I would just dismiss this because there's lots of times where players maybe might make a mistake and like something by accident, but when you consider that this time, this summer, we're not going to forget that infamous tweet that Havertz liked, and if anything, he was really just hinting and alluding to the fact that he was going to become our player that window. Now, from the summer, we already know that Matt Law reported exclusively that we held serious talks and we tried to speak to Gimenez in regards to a potential move. Normally with deals like this, there are tons of discussions and negotiations happening behind the scenes, plenty of informal talks, and it would not surprise me if Lampard is still even keeping some informal communication with Gimenez, because if you're a player, if you see what's happening with our club, with the amount of attacking players we have, young, exciting ones too, we play a dominant style of football as well, and we have a very strong, competitive squad, that's going to be attractive to a lot of serious players making to take the next step up in their career. And with Gimenez, I guess my only thing about him is that I kind of see him as like a Kurt Zouma style defender. Is Gimenez going to be the guy to start the attacks from deep? No. Is Gimenez going to be the player to, break the lines from deep? No. Of course, he does have good passing accuracy. He does play very accurate long balls, but there's a difference between starting attacks like this, showing that type of composure and skill that we see from Thiago Silva that's been so beneficial for us to, beat the opposition press in our own half and, kickstart attacks from deep. Gimenez for me is a warrior, incredible in the air. It will put his body on the front line too. He's got good pace as well. He's quite tall and, defensive positioning and reading of the game is very strong. But I personally believe that if we are going in the market to sign a central defender for next season, it's clear that he is going to be the replacement for Thiago Silva. I think Silva's still going to remain here for one more season, but of course, we still have to plan for the future. And I think maybe the defender that we have to target is someone that can start those attacks from deep. We used to have this skill when David Luiz was here, and I personally believe that Lampard understood the mistake he made last season when it came to signing Thiago Silva. it makes a massive difference for a team like us. And for me, Gimenez, he's got 2 years left in his deal come the summer. He is going to be quite affordable, and I'm sure that we can negotiate down from Atletico Madrid's release clause, but at the same time, is he the right profile that we need? I'm not too sure, you guys. With how we're playing right now, I want to maintain that and improve it, you know, take that to the next level. And you guys heard what I said in my last News Daily video. For me, if we can sign David Alaba on a free, we're sorted, you guys. But anyway, in the comments below, give me your thoughts and opinions. How do you feel about Gimenez? Do you want him to sign for us? And on that note, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. I'm EFC. This is Blue Line CV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos.